Can you smell this? It's the perfume of perfume. And believe it or not, but this perfume has more than 20 years of history behind it. Minasan konnichiwa, yorobun annyeong. Hi everyone, this is Leo for Asia on Air. And today I'm gonna pay a tribute to the most prestigious Japanese girl group, PERFUME. If some of you already listened to the first episode of my podcast, you should know that PERFUME was actually my first encounter with J-pop in general. This was 10 years ago in 2011. I was watching a French independent TV channel called No Life, which now doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. A channel broadcasting some weird stuff about video games, Japanese culture, and Japanese music. Just imagine for a moment, you're a French guy, you never heard Japanese pop music before, and suddenly you see that on TV. I naturally fell in love. I got charmed, spelled by the perfume of PERFUME. The colors of the video, the mysterious, catchy and fresh music, the stunning look of the girls, and their uncommon choreo on point got me in right away. Long story short, a few months later, my room was looking like this. I was giving this impulsion to start a French fan club for the group, and I was buying a flight ticket for Japan to go see them live. Do you know why I became a hardcore fan of PERFUME? It doesn't only come from the prestige of their style and their elegance, but also from the richness of their history, which now exceeds 20 years. Let me tell you about it. Everything starts in 2000 in Hiroshima. Yuka Kawashima, Yuka Kashino, and Ayaka Nishiwaki, three trainees from the Hiroshima Actors School, gathered to make a group called PERFUME. The three girls having the kanji ka in common in their names, which means perfume from Kusui. This is how they come up with the name of the group. But soon after that, Yuka Kawashima leaves the group and gives her place to an older trainee, Ayano Omoto. Then aged 12 years old, they each chose a nickname, or as we could say, an artist name. So you have Nochi, A-chan, who is a leader, and Kashiyuka. The motivation that drives them to make a group is to walk in the footsteps of the famous girl band Speed. This actor school is where they make their first two indie singles under the label Momiji, Omajinai Perori and Kareshi Obo Shuuchu. Since these singles are only released in Hiroshima at the time, I can tell you that even after many researches, I was still unable to find them, even for a high price. This is what we call real collectors. After finishing their school, Perfume moved to Tokyo in 2003 to sign with the Amuse agency, and the group's name switches from the hiragana writing to the romaji writing. 2003 is a year when, as many fans would agree with me, the Perfume family is formed. And by family, I mean that the three girls are gonna meet somewhat their big sister and their big brother, whom they are gonna keep on working with until today, in other words, forever. These two senpai are their choreographer Mikiko Sensei and their composer out from his electro group called Capsule, Yasutaka Nakata. By giving them a more professional sound and aspects, they can release 3 new singles under the Beehive record label: Sweet Donuts, Monochrome Effects, and Vitamin Drop. The songs are catchy and they come along kitsch but fun music videos. Alright, so now we are watching Perfume's Monochrome Effect MV, which is pretty old and really kitsch, as you can see. Oh, this CGI, wow. Nachi is looking really fresh. Keshuka's hairstyle is so weird. I want to say Natsukashi in Japanese, like it really makes me nostalgic. It was a while ago. You tell me what you think about it, but for me the mix of the colorful shots and the black and white shots is a bit weird. Whoa. Wow. The special effects are amazing. But I actually really love the song. It's pretty catchy. And they're really smiling, you know? Makes you happy, kind of. The choreography is really cute, I have to say. We don't believe you. You're not playing the guitar and the piano. Oh, there was a weird effect, like a voice in the back. That was kind of weird. Do you hear it? That's weird. I love the bridge. It means a kind of break, you know? This kind of song will stick in your head forever. I think it's gonna make my day. Pay attention to the last chord. I love the ending. The Beehive project allows them to make daily vlogs where they talk about a bit of everything and build a communication with their fans. And talking about fandom, Perfume conquers the heart of bunches of otaku in 2005 when they released the song Akihabara Love in collaboration with the DJ Momoi. The music style, Akibake, is pretty exotic for them, but when it comes to the crazy energy shared with the audience during the live performances, they swim like a fish in the ocean. On the same year, the girls finally signed with a major label called Tokuma and released the single Linear Motor Girl, a sound which is, in my opinion, a bit repetitive, and their promotional outfits and hairstyle look a bit strange, especially Kashiyuka's. But anyway, the two following singles are gonna become legendary: Computer City and Electro World. This era definitely dives into old school electro, with the composer Nakata being obsessed with heavy beats and robotic voices modified by a vocoder. Since the Akiba period, Perfume were getting more and more in direct contact with their audience by handling by themselves flyers in the street and giving live performances. We are then in 2006. Perfume comes up with a compilation. Well, actually their first album called Complete Best, adding one new song called Perfect Star, Perfect Style, and later in 2007 with two more new songs, one that I'm gonna talk about later, and Twinkle Snow, Powdery Snow. Alright, so now we're checking out Fanservice Beat, their first DVD, live DVD, and the song is Imitation World, a song that is not that famous in the fandom of Perfume, but I really love it, and you will see why, especially for the chords that you can hear at the moment. I'll tell you a bit later. I think it's a very nice one from the old days, and I especially love this live. I was really amazed the first time I saw it. I was not expecting all the energy they release and all the like coordination again They're really good already at this level of their career. Yeah, so the part I love in Imitation World is the chorus especially. So now it's still a bit simple, but it's gonna get more complex after this. Listen to this. I love it. The choreography is really elegant as well. It's really relaxing, makes you feel good, you know. Feels like you're on vacation. Imitation World. And the ending. It's actually switching to another song. It's giving a bit of melancholy. This is genius. Really good. We are in 2007 and Perfume have their fandom, but it's still a niche. Such a niche that it is said that their agency may be considering about putting an end to the adventure. But it is at this precise moment that a miracle happens. A miracle made possible by another singer. Thank God, thank her, Kimura Kaela.
乗り出せ万歳万歳踊り出せ万歳ビーマイゲ波乗りに乗って乗って盛り上がれ僕らの未来
What happens is that Kimura Kaela hears the A-side of Perfume's single Fanservice Suite. Fanservice Suite was sold for Valentine's and was featuring two songs, Twinkle Snow Powder with Snow that we took a look at a bit before, and the one that changed the game, Chocolate Disco. Kaela simply fell in love with this song, and especially with its nostalgic feeling, which on that I totally agree. There is some innocence yet some melancholy paired with euphoria which make Chocolate Disco very very special. Plus the choreo and the promotional video are on point and hard to forget. To get back to our story, so Kimura Kaela started to regularly broadcast Chocolate Disco on her radio channel, which eventually finished in the ear of Akira Tomotsuki, a commercial director. This guy loved it. He contacted Perfume and in the end, they made a collaboration for a TV commercial about recycling. You will see in the video that it's obviously about recycling, to the point that the girls' outfits look ridiculously cheap and the video itself is awful, but who cares? This video was actually the starting point for Perfume. After all these years, they finally got what they deserved. They became famous. Yasutaka Nakata was asked to compose this song called Polyrhythm, which ended up being released as a single. I guess he said, okay, and he did it. He fucking composed the most genius song of all Perfume's career and the first one to reach the chart's top 10, using complex rhythm patterns while building a catchy and easy melody. Polyrhythm, guys. Let's watch the MV. Alright, here we go with the legendary Polyrhythm. Wow. I think their presence on camera and their acting really has improved. And even the quality of the music video, it's cleaner, than before. For me, it's really one of the best songs of Perfume, if it isn't the best. Maybe not my number one favorite, but it's one of the best, I think. And I love these blue details on their outfits to make it evoke about technology and future, And here, listen to this break. Wow, this is perfect. This is amazing. Actually, what Yasutaka Nakata did right here is that he took a traditional rhythm from Africa, I think. I don't know exactly where, but it's like and he's like decomposing it and making it like an EDM beat. I love it. I heard this song so many times, but every time I hear it, I'm 100% into it. Oh, and the choreography, we have to talk about it. I love how they mix like robot moves and so feminine and subtle moves like this. It's such a good mix. Like these small steps. It's so Japanese. And their makeup is on point. It's not too much. It's discreet but feminine. It's perfect. Wow. 10 out of 10. Houston, can you hear me? The Perfume rocket is launched. I repeat, the Perfume rocket is launched. We cannot stop it. You will see from now on, nothing will stop them. After Polyrhythm in 2008, then comes Baby Cruising Love, a single I love very deeply. Unless Linear Motor Girl, Baby Cruising Love is repetitive, but not boring. It's like a lullaby, it rocks you like a baby. And the MV is beautiful. For the first time, Perfume get a high quality image. They look expensive. On the same year, our girls come up with their second studio album, an amazing album which will push them to their first numero ichi in the Japanese Oricon charts, and all their following albums will keep on reaching the top. The album Game, amazing album in my opinion, which they promote by their first nationwide tour and a DVD. A lot of electro sound, my favorite songs being, well, of course, Polyrhythm and Baby Cruising Love, the badass Game, and the 80s influenced Secret Secret. Yeah, Secret Secret sounds magic. It's like freezing time. And Secret Secret is in fact guiding the line of their sound for their third album. We'll talk about it, but later. Because before that, many things happened between 2008 and 2009. First of all, Perfume launched their official fan club called PTA for Perfume to Anata, meaning perfume and you, as a symbol of proximity and thankfulness. They will then provide some exclusive content like goods, clothes, bags and documentaries for their fan club subscribers. On top of that, we start to see the girls more and more on TV, having interviews, joining reality shows and even acting in the hilarious Chandelier House. So about Chandelier House, it was actually a TV show which they made a DVD for, and the really interesting thing about Chandelier House is that you can get to see the real acting skills of Perfume. And even you can learn a bit about Japanese culture, and I think each episode is half prepared, half improvised, which is really interesting as well. Yeah, Nochi is like jealous that they are coming from Tokyo to do some shopping. And it's a mix between like a humoristic and theatrical performance. They really want to laugh. So what's today's weather in Hiroshima? Can you know? Because they don't like, it's like they don't care about Hiroshima anymore because they are so much into Tokyo now. Alright guys, I needed to show you this because it's probably one of the most funniest videos I have ever seen. So Perfume are collaborating with another boy band to make a show for, I think it was New Year's Eve, and they're gonna make some short sketches and it's gonna be so funny. I need to show you this.
こんな人はいい恋できない。まずは出会い編です。どうぞ。
パフュームコント初挑戦。
今日盛り上がっていきましょう。
うまっ。
美味しい出会いです。
では早速でございますけど、女性陣の名前聞いちゃおうかな。じゃあこっちから行こうか。教えて。
私はノッチって言います。
どっち？わかわいい。
So it's like an kind of arranged
私は歌手歌っています。
multiple dates, you know. So they are introducing themselves right now.
ここで問題です。私の名前は何でしょう。
So they are just
1
so Nochi and Kashuka are just introducing themselves. Classic. But Achan is making a quiz to introduce herself. She's like, hey, can you guess what's my name? Number 1, number 2, and number 3 is Achan.
3番のあーちゃん。
Number 3, Achan. Yeah, good job. So the great thing is that she's gonna make a quiz for everything through the whole meal. Sugu quiz or dasu onna. Yeah. She's always making a quiz for everything.
ついてんじゃないの？ね。だからさ、食べちゃう。
ここで問題です。私たちはどれが一番食べたいでしょうか。
Can you guess which one I want to eat the most?
唐揚げ。3大学芋。
With the music behind, you know, for the quiz.
なんでここだけつける？違う。さっきとシンキングタイム変わってんじゃん。
はい。
俺？1位のサラダ。
ブブー大学芋でした。
何これ？
She got it wrong.
のっけで甘いものからいっちゃうタイプ？じゃあ別に普段サラダとか食べないんだ。
サラダ食べます。私は何サラダが好きでしょうか。ベジタブルサラダ。
Which salad do you prefer to eat? Can you guess? It's already getting so irritating, you know.
3卵がカンカンにかかってるサラダ。
Do I prefer the salad with some eggs inside?
なんかベジタブルサラダ。4。
Number 4.
サラダ。
サブダンドレッシングサラダ。
ゲッココココココココーン。はい、あなた。
4のサブダン。
ブブー卵カンカンに下がってる
He's
サラダ。
getting so much pressure, you know.
なんで名前知らないの？
He missed it.
なんか言ったっけ？
3人とも同じ血液型ですが、その血液型は何でしょう。 1
I didn't get what she said.
2サキイカ。
イカ？
3カタカタ。 4 A 型。
Oh, she's asking about the blood type.
A 型。3から3に仲いいの？
仲いいよね。
何して遊んでんの？
そうだな。そうだね。
お買い物に行くよね。そうそう、3人でよくお買い物行きますね。ここで問題です。お買い物どこに行くでしょうか。 1 ニコタマ。
Where should I go to do shopping?
埼玉。
ちょっと待って、なんでニコ玉より全然。カシウカ大暴走。
So it's Kashiyuka's turn to do something funny.
なおちゃんさ、休みの日とか何してんの？
私は友達と買い物とかしてますね。
This girl is really famous.
そうなんだ。
I think she's an actress.
あの人。
She made other shows with perfume.
女の子も可愛くて楽しい合コンになるなと思っていま
This
した。
guy is so funny.
そう、この子に話しかけるまでは。
考えすぎる女。Ah, the woman who thinks too much.
ゆかちゃんさ、趣味とか何なの？
どうしよう。趣味を聞かれちゃった。
So
本当の趣味は DVD
he's
鑑賞。
asking her, so what's your
最近
passion?
で
What's
一番
your
面白いのは
hobbies?
インディ・ジョーンズのハリソン・フォード
She's wondering-
あの年齢であんなにアクションができるなんて素敵よね。あ、私ったら何変なこと考えてんのかしら。趣味を聞かれたから答えなくっちゃ。 DVD 鑑賞。いや待って、もし仮に彼が DVD を見るのが好きじゃなかったとするわ。すると、
あー
でね、何が DVD じゃん。
She wants so much to give the right answer that she's just
そうしたらひっくり返って
imagining too many things in her head, you know.
たまたま打ちどころが悪くてそのまま救急病院に運ばれるの。でも病院の先生に しようがありませんって言われてそのまま死に至るのよ。嫌よ、そんなの嫌、絶対に
Getting crazy.
ゆかちゃん大丈夫ゆかちゃん大丈夫ゆかちゃんちょっと具合悪そうだけど大丈夫？
具合が悪そう？心配された私はこのまま病院に運ばれちゃうわ。そしたらいきなり点滴を打たれるんだけど、その点滴が間違ってポン酢になってるの。ポン酢を打たれた私は湯豆腐かって突っ込むんだけど、たまたま毒の狙い
She's thinking, well, what about if I go to hospital and they
そしたら私は
they put a needle in my arm and everything gets crazy.
ゆかちゃんどうしたんだよ。人殺しちょっと
You know, it happens when you want too much to be perfect. You just don't do anything anymore, you know? Just do stuff even if it's not perfect. 緊張しすぎる男。
お待たせ
So the guy who is stressing too much.
大丈夫？
大丈夫
すごい汗かいてる。
いや暑かったから
He's already sweating so much.
なんか急に呼び出してすみませんじゃあちょっとお話よろしいでしょうか。
Such a good actor.
先生先生レンちゃんまた今度でいいで。
He's too afraid, too stressed, you know? 一人で告白できない男。
ごめんね待った。
So the guy who cannot make his declaration when you say that you're in love alone. So he cannot say that he's in love by himself, you know. So he's actually having some help from this guy. I love how he's sitting at the other side of the bench because he's so, you know, nervous. So, omega suke means I love you, you know. I want to have a boy with you. I want to have a child with you.
っていうことなんだ。
That was what I wanted to say.
ごめんなさい。
Sorry. It's like, it's alright, it's alright. Ah, it's so funny.
信子吉村 VS ノッチ。
とにかく熱い男。So the guy who's really, really hot. Just like I am now. Sorry, I'm late.
こっちからお呼びしといてすいませんでした。すいませんでした。いやいや、またしても1分で無理ごめんなさい。座りましょう。あ、ちょっと待って、まだ汚いから。ね、汚いからちょっと。
Let's sit, but oh, wait a minute, it's too dirty. I love how he sits just like Ellen. Don't she? So
僕ずっと前から。
she wants to love so much.
ずっと前から君のことがずっと前から好きです。
I have been loving you.
I need you. すいません。
He's apologizing, like for real, you know. Ah. 2008 and 2009 are really dense years for them, because they also make it to the Nippon Budokan, the huge martial arts monument in the middle of Tokyo, considered as the stage of prestige to reach for many artists. Their live with a DVD having the same name is called Nippon Budokan. Yeah. This is called like this. This live is famous for Achan being crying, but also for the song they performed at the end for the first time, which became the most loved one by the fans for its deep lyrics and powerful energy, Dream Fighter. With Dream Fighter, they also released 2 other singles, Love the World and One Room Disco. They all become huge hits. Now Perfume is more than mainstream, it's more than successful, it's number one. On an artistic point of view, they start to find their style, their atmosphere, their sound become more pop, and their choreography is getting more complex and precise, while having eyes-catching and accessible points. One point of detail which has its importance, this era marks the starting point of the use of their mythical high heels that they're gonna keep forever after that. And this not only shows that they have grown up as mature women, but also that they do have gained serious skills in terms of dancing. Guys, I know how hard it is to dance, so I don't even want to imagine how hard it must be to dance with high heels. Now, as we mentioned earlier, Secret was giving clues on the upcoming style of Perfume in terms of inspiration. Because indeed, their third album Triangle was without a doubt a pure heritage from the 80s. Allow me then to take a peek at one of the B-sides of the album Triangle, a song which may be my favorite of all times by Perfume. I Still Love You. Just that heavy snare drum and that break are enough to be brought back 40 years earlier. So beautiful. This look, they're killing everything. And then start this really low budget, just a fan and a camera, a fan for the air on the hair and the camera. It's stunning music video, where we can enjoy close shots of the girls and appreciate the quality of their acting. And see how the hair and black eyes creates this perfect contrast with their white outfits and the white background. That melody makes me melt. It sounds so nostalgic. And from the verses lines to the chorus, it really is telling you a story. It's magic, really. It's one of the most storytelling melody I have ever heard, which makes the lyrics even more powerful, you know? Wow. And we are really swimming in the 80s, and that's probably also why I love it so much. Oh, I have to tell you something. So, something is gonna happen in the MV. You will see that Kashiyuka is gonna start to lose at the moment, and then they will all start to lose. And there's a reason for this. Look at Kashiyuka's. Something is happening, right? So actually, what is happening is that the staff is tickling their feet. That's why they cannot handle it, and it must be so funny, you know. But disturbing, so much disturbing. You know, what I love is that the MV looked quite serious until here, and then they just break it like this. I love it because they have like self-mockery. They don't take it seriously, but they make it serious. Like they make it seriously, but they don't take it seriously. I love it. And look at how they come back. After this, they will come back to their like serious acting, I would say, which is really impressive because like if someone is tickling your feet, like how can you go back to a look, like a serious look after this? You will see. Yeah, from now. Look at that. I Still Love You. One of my, no, it's my favorite song. My friends, do you need more synths? More 80s? So do I. So let's watch together a bit of that DVD for their Triangle tour. Alright, so we start with this tension rising intro called Takeoff for this Triangle tour in Yokohama Arena. I love this intro. Like, even in the album, that's such a great start, you know. It's teasing you. It's gonna be a badass album. And then we get Nakata-san on fire. Seriously, he was on fire for this riff. He went wild. I'm so much into Achan's outfits in this DVD, you know. Because it looks like a mix between a very elegant dress and a pajama, but a really classy pajama, you know, the most classy pajama ever. And this leads to the kitsch and uber catchy Night Flight. And here we go in the 80s again. That's why I love this song so much. when it when it comes to the choreo, we have something on the verge between cuteness, sexiness, and elegance. That's so feminine. It's really well made. By the way, this album, the third album, Triangle, in my opinion, helps Perfume to make their image evolve. We now see them as more feminine, more mature, more elegant, and if they're still occupying the idol market technically, they in fact start to be seen in Japan as more than idols, but real artists, And they also kind of built a new image brand, this triangle being recurrent and omnipresent on their CD cover and all the goods, symbolizing the harmony of their three energies gathered to make the perfect triangle, the perfect balance of their personalities, Perfume are three, no more, no less. The period which separates them from their third album to their fourth is a bit weird, since they follow up single release after single release to get a total of 5 singles in only 2 years. The first 3 are Fushizen Girl, Ne, and my favorite, Voice. Alright, Voice. Probably one of my favorite MV from Perfume. And my favorite song as well. You see, this is from when I consider their music videos to be more and more original and creative. There are many ideas in Voice's clip which don't cost crazy but work perfectly. Well, first of all, can we talk about this melody and orchestration? Isn't this, you will see in the chorus, these traditional Japanese scales and tones, that sounds so refreshing. Actually, the pre-chorus right here. We have a Japanese traditional scale, Wow, this song. And through the whole video you have funny storytelling with a paper cut and some toys here and there. It's really creative. And oh my god, this choreo is so precise and accurate. I know it has many offbeat moves, which is not easy to do, and it's made on purpose to make it complex, I love the acting in this video. You can see they are having a lot of fun. I don't get it. I don't understand this moment. Yeah, the pre-chorus is grand. In terms of influences for the choreo, it reminds me of some traditional dances while approaching the contemporary repertoire, yet it still looks like a pop choreo. So once again, the genius Mikiko sensei hits hard with voice. Okay, for the hentai like me, just pay attention to Kashiyuka's skirt. It's gonna fly. Achan's ones as well. Really good. Ladies and gents, it's now time to talk about one of the most important chapters of Perfume's career. For me, this was the peak, the reward that they deserved after so many years of hard work. I'm talking about their live at the Tokyo Dome in 2010, called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Can you make it any longer? As a tribute to their active years in the industry. Guys, you are not ready to see what you're about to see. The Tokyo Dome live is a piece of art by itself. So they are now focusing because they are about to do probably the biggest thing in their career. And that must have been so stressful at this moment, you know? When you see all these people in the Tokyo Dome? Yeah, that's right. It's unbelievable. You know, this DVD like really sealed my love for Perfume when I saw it the first time. Yeah, look at how beautiful they look. So we start here with this beautiful intro where I'm dressed with some kind of bride dress, you know, in pure white, walking slowly, controlling every step in a very solemn and elegant moment. They're counting. If you guys don't know, the Tokyo Dome is a huge facility in the center of Tokyo. I was living a few meters away, by the way, in Suidobashi, which most of the times holds yaku, so baseball events and matches, but also occasionally big concerts. Only the few biggest and most prestigious artists in Japan had the chance to perform in Tokyo Dome, since it can contain around 55,000 people, 55,000. So now is the occasion to mention about two things. First, all the work that must have been done behind the scenes to prepare such a live is a mountain. We see a bit of it in the making of. Weeks of preparation, a huge team, huge amount of installations, and nothing is left to hazard. They anticipate every second, every millimeter, and in that concern they must have leveled up so much and so fast, as you know, professionals and as a team. Second, the outfits. It's now official. Perfume directly comes out from a mode magazine, and they drive the fashion trend. You will see even in the other songs that I'm gonna show you, they're in this live wearing outfits that make them shine in their elegance and femininity. So they counted until 10 because it represents their years of their career, you know. So also they put a sense behind all of this. There is a meaning. The work on the shadows, like the Chinese shadows. Ah, look at that, this transition. And here we go with secrets. With fluorescent outfits. That's crazy. I really recommend the DVD of the Tokyo Dome. It's the best thing on earth. Look at that! Alright, so I'm now switching to the famous Perfume no Okite, which is an interlude in the middle of the show, because I just never get bored of it. In all the biggest performance of Perfume, they have a kind of a break in which they simply make the show with amazing dance moves and happenings. This is what participated greatly in making me in love with them as well, you know. And Nakata's talent again. Some of you guys were there at the Tokyo Dome at that moment. I really envy you, I tell you. I love these dance moves. They're spreading their arms and legs, you know, using their body perfectly. Ah, these chords. it's their birthday. You have to learn it and to remember it, okay? And this synth melody is something. And then we're gonna get the solos, starting with Kashiyuka. Pam, pam. This knees moves, you know? Have you seen it? And then it's like a military dance. That's so classy. Wow. Pam, pam. Her face is looking like a doll. I love it. And then Achan's gun is gonna destroy everything. I actually wonder how they did this. Maybe they just how did they destroy the balloon? Well, it must be easy, but I just wonder how they did it. Nochi's dance moves. You know, Nochi is probably the best of the three in terms of dancing skills. I love all what she puts, all the emotion she puts in her moves, you know. Wow. And like, her body is made to dance, you know. She's born to be a dancer. And then she's joining the two others. And they're gonna dance together for the end of this. It's just an interlude of the whole show, you know. Welcome to Perfume World. Alright guys, I now want to show you the closing of the show with Polyrhythm. Look at their outfits first and tell me what you think about it. It's so beautiful, right? They made it for Ne, their song they released at that time. I think it was 2011. You know, Polyrhythm, especially at this moment, this is the most meaningful part of the concert as a symbol, because they performed the song that made them famous in the biggest stage ever. One kind of an accomplishment, which ends up in fireworks, you will see, and Achan crying as well, like a baby. A really emotional moment, which sealed my love for Perfume. Because it contains all their story, from struggles to success inside. Wow, look at all these people. I say Achan is crying, but you will see that Kashiyuka and Nochi will be tearful as well. Like their eyes are gonna be wet, because it's so huge, you know, to do the Tokyo Dome. Look at that. After 10 years in their career, they can finally taste this. It's so deserved. the lasers and the fireworks. It's beautiful. The rainbow laser then. She's singing, I heard her voice. Because most of the times like lip syncing, but yeah, I can hear the voice. Because that dance moves is it's so complex. That must be hard to 100% sing every time, you know, at the same time. I think Ashan is crying now. Yes. Oh, this choreography, so creative, so fresh. Even now, you know. It's really hard, you know, to dance this. A lot of offbeat moves. Let's now get back to their releases. If you remember, they released 2 more singles before their 4th album, which was the excellent Spice and its amazing B-side Glitter, and Laserbeam, the mythical Laserbeam.
キラキラの夢の中で僕たちは約束をしたねその日がいつか来るまで泣かないよ思い出すよストレートドキドキする視線はまるでレーザービーム心を瞬間にと突き刺すの CG のラブビーム
One thing to note is that the music video of Laserbeam had to be remade because of Fukushima's disaster in 2011. So that's why the whole video seems to be parted in 2 and doesn't really make sense. But they just uploaded the clean version of their official YouTube channel though, so it seems they deleted the ancient one. And their 4th album, their long-awaited album, finally comes out in 2011. It's called JPN, for Japan I guess. Always this trinity, and it represents perfectly the sound in my opinion. Probably the to-go-to album for anyone who didn't know Perfume before. As for the fans, honestly, they didn't have much to eat, since it contained mostly singles that they already could have bought before. After the Tokyo Dome episode and the release of JPN, Perfume were already at the top and seen as one of the most prestigious groups in Japan. So what could they do more? Well, they could make the world as their new target. And this is what they did, step by step. The first chapter of their upcoming Globalization was their featuring in the movie Cars 2 by Pixar, in which their song Polyrhythm was used. A perfect occasion for them to be invited in the US, Los Angeles, where they could join the premiere of the movie in Hollywood. But serious stuff really starts when, in 2012, they signed with a new label, Universal Music, which allows the album JPM to be released in more than 50 countries. The first song they release under the label is Spring of Life. Yasutaka Nakata was still loyal to the historical techno-pop genre he created for Perfume, but this era was getting closer to the EDM sounds and riffs, as we could hear it in the next single, Spending All My Time, and its mysterious, enigmatic, original and I must say, captivating music video. We are then in August 2012, so if you allow me, let's rewind a bit to June 2012. At that time, I already had discovered Perfume since a year ago, and I was a total fan of them, to the point to make a video on YouTube in which I was begging them to come to Japan Expo in France.
おはようございます。私はリオです。私はパフュームの大ファンでフランス人です。実際フランスにはパフュームのファンがたくさんいます。君たちの物語が知っています。で、私たちは本格的ファンみたいだよね。はい、おまじないペロエリから未来のミュージアムまで全てが知っていて、音楽とダンスをずっと好きでした。
But then I saw their performance cuts as the hosts of the Japanese MTV Awards. Their elegance was too much. The accuracy of their dance moves was too much. And the freshness of this mix between traditional influences and modern beats was too much. I simply decided that I needed to go to Japan for the first time, and so did I, with Perfume's live tickets in hand. Two of my dreams came true in the same time: to visit Japan and to see Perfume in real. One kind of a coincidence is that in the same month of July, Perfume was announcing their very first world tour in Taiwan, Korea, Hong Kong and Singapore. Anyway, my first encounter with them was in Sapporo, Hokkaido, for the Rising Sun Rock Festival, a kind of a Japanese Woodstock in the countryside of Sapporo, in the dirt, where tons of artists were performing a handful of their songs. So there were many stages in the area for the festival, with artists performing simultaneously, which means that, hopefully for me, there were not all the people gathered for Perfume, which allowed me to take a spot at the front row. I was waiting for them in advance with a few PTA members that I had met, easily recognizable with their Perfume towel around the neck. Then the crowd started to take form and the live started. Perfume arrived. I was literally 3 meters away from them, which, when realizing it, made me shed a tear. Honestly, I cried a little bit because I couldn't believe this was true. I was keeping thinking about all the history that I had seen through multiple videos, all their lives that I was keeping on watching again and again, and suddenly they were here in front. This was weird. I remember being shocked by the brightness of their super white skin and by how they were looking very tall, especially Notchi. They performed Spending All My Time for the first time, which was strange because, you see, they make on purpose many offbeat moves in this choreo, but since it was the first time, I still cannot say if they made a lot of mistakes or if the choreo was just too new and complex for my brain to follow. Anyway, I was confused. And funny thing, at the moment, Notchi was staring at me. I mean, Notchi often does these big scary eyes. I mean, you know, like this. And nobody knows why. She looked at me like, what? A foreigner here? In Sapporo? In the dirt? For us? Nani? After that, I saw them a second time in Chiba for the Summer Sonic Festival. A huge crowd over there and very excited. Honestly, it was hard to breathe and it was so hot. But I enjoyed it well. They were in total pink outfits, looking beautiful. Back in Tokyo, I could assist to the release of Spending All My Time with the enormous video advert on the Tower Records of Shibuya. By the way, I need to mention about the B-side of Spending All My Time, Points, which I'm fond of. When you listen to it, it makes you fresh, believe me. As for the other B-side song, Hurly Burly, they promoted it in the best way by collaborating with Rhizomatics to bring on stage their own hologram versions. By the way, Rhizomatics is a company founded by Daito Manabe that they work side by side with since the Tokyo Dome Live for all the happenings and amazing interludes. They are the ones who take care of the visual arts and the technological engineering. So after all of that, I'm back in France, and Perfume released a compilation as their own introduction to the overseas countries they can now directly sell to. The compilation is called Perfume Global Compilation Love the World and features one new badass song, Fake It. Note that all the extras for the videos were fans of Perfume who were invited for the occasion. If 2008 and 2009 were busy years for Perfume, we can say that 2013 was probably the busiest. They start the year by releasing a single called Mirai no Museum in collaboration with the famous Doraemon, whose new movie features that song. For me, it's just a so-so song that doesn't really follow the style, but it's still a collab. Who would blame them for that? The MV on the other side disappointed me. Not that I'm against the manga concept, but it looked cheap and a bit cringy. They were probably trying to use the occasion to catch a younger audience, so once again, who would blame them for that? I was much more convinced by the B-side song and its dubstep influences, Daijo Banai. A bit of TMI on that. Since then, I kept on using the expression Daijo Banai when speaking Japanese, which in fact doesn't exist. It's a contraction of Daijobu Janai that translates into there is something wrong or I'm not feeling good. Daijo Banai sounds a la mode and cool, so I just keep on using it, even if it doesn't officially mean anything anyway. Their next single, Magic of Love, brings them back to a more familiar sound, something bright and colorful on the bubblegum pop side. You see, during this period, I was back to Japan and actually living there. I had met some Perfume fans on the way, with whom we went to the exquisite Hiroshima-style okonomiyaki restaurant called Sonia in Shimbashi, where Perfume were aired in a TV show. And I also met other fans later in Roppongi for a Rhizomatics exhibition. What is funny is that while I was in Japan, Perfume was conquering the world with their World Tour first in Asia and World Tour second in Europe. Their World Tour second was held during the summer in Cologne, London and guess where? Paris, in Bataclan, where they met the very active French fandom. Now that I mention about it, these world tours are gonna push them to emancipate a bit from Mikiko Sensei, since they start to build the scenarios of their lives themselves. By scenario, I mean like which song to start with, how to occupy the scene, what kind of transition to make between the choreographies, etc. On the same summer, Perfume was giving a prestigious performance of Spending All My Time for the Festival of Creativity in the city of Cannes in the south of France. They could show off their dancing skills and the technological artistry of Rhizomatics to a totally new type of crowd. The fifth major album of Perfume then comes out in fall. It's called Level 3 with always this Trinity symbol, and that's an amazing one in my opinion, starting with its ultimate cover. I want to praise this album for its storytelling. It makes us travel into different atmospheres while exploring new subgenres of the electro and technopop world, and the tracklist order is being pretty smart for that. My heart especially beats for the title track and its MV, Ichimili. Alright, Ichimiri. So colorful outfits. For me, Ichimiri is a quintessence of perfume. It reunites all what they are good for and makes it harmonious. The choreo, the music, the lyrics, the technology, the colors. It uses minimalism and makes it shine. Ah, the choreo. So controlled. So much grace in their moves, you know. Visually it's amazing. So you have these transparent and luminescent doors everywhere on which you can read the lyrics of the song, which is really creative. And the girls are simply playing with it, dancing around and using them for their choreography. This is so smart. How the video is in fact divided in two parallel parts. You have a softly lighted part in which Perfume are dressed in white, and the doors are illuminated by colors, and you have a bright part in which the girls are dressed with very colorful outfits. So it's like a mirror which completes itself, you know. That's so smart. And Kashiuka's hairstyle is so new in here. We can see her forehead. Finally. Ah, this melody. Now I want to talk about Nakata's genius in this song. Tell me please what you think about when you hear the chorus. I'll just wait for the next chorus and tell you what it makes me think about. Even the earrings are triangle. Love this kind of details. Listen to this. What does it make you think about? Personally, it reminds me of a nursery rhyme, some kind of a child song, very easy to remember, that sticks in your head. It's really easy to remember. So Nakata took a very easy melody, something pure, and made it a hit with his arrangements. So once again, minimalism is used as a tool by the genius. Wow, it must be so hard to dance this. Level 3. It's the name of the album. That's crazy. Oh, good job. I was so amazed by Ichimiri that I found myself a bit puzzled by the single Sweet Refrain that quickly came out after, which I thought as conventional. before I forget it, 2013 was also the year which saw Perfume starting their own radio show called Perfume Lux, their own, I'd say, tribune where they talk about a bit of everything, promote and simply have fun.
日本語で
増してるな。それ感増してるな。
夜間飛行。これを英語で言うと
夜間飛行って発音うまくない？
英語で言うと、ナイトフライト。そんな。
いやなんかね、ちょっとそれ感増してるっていうか、
大丈夫？
うまくなって
大丈夫ですよね。
大丈夫です。
じゃないよ。ばっかりかな。はい。では repeat after me。ナイトフライト。あ、久しぶりに聴いてもいい曲だね。
自分も久しぶりだからってさ、久しぶりとか言っちゃってさ。
来るよ。
どこだったかなこれ。どこだったっけ？忘れたね。
はい。
メカナフライ。
メカナ何？
ハバナフライ。
ハブは何？
メカナフライ。
メカって何？言ってない。
ハバナフライ。
言ってない。
向かう先にはメカナフライ。って言ってる。
ナイトフライトだけ言えばいいのにメカナイトフライトまあいいでしょ。
The end of this absolutely dense year of 2013 concluded by their fourth tour called Level 3 and their stunning performance converted later in DVD that brought them back to the gigantic Tokyo Dome. And we move on to 2014, the year of their first mini album or maxi single, which gathers 4 songs: Ijiwaru na Hello, Hold Your Hand, Display, which they collaborated with Panasonic to make their first 4K video, and the title track, Cling Cling. Alright, let's check out Cling Cling. Marché déraciné sous terre. It's a French name which means deracinated market underground. So a radical change for Cling Cling. We had something fresh with the storytelling in the video. And as you can see, a colorimetry, color grading, and an atmosphere that directly came out from Hong Kong movies. The blue and orange look really cinematic. The set where they shoot exists as itself. They didn't make it from scratch. Hopefully, I want to say, because there are so many details and items everywhere, you know. That would have been a titan's job. So yeah, if I don't make any mistake, it's possible to visit this set. I just cannot remember where it is. Yeah, a lot of great shots in this video. And the song is quite epic. Yeah, so the blue outfit they have, and this one, it's really interesting because what they tried to do with Kling Kling is they try to fit the outfits and the choreography to the set by mixing cultural influences coming from China, India, Morocco. So the result is simply exotic and colorful. And the blue outfits are really close to Chun-Li outfit in Street Fighter. It reminds me of this cat. It reminds me of Shenmue 2, the second episode of Shenmue, because at the end of the game, or before the end of the game, you go in a city which I forgot the name in China, and it's this kind of feeling, you know. So you go from Hong Kong to this city which is close to the mountains, and there's a huge market there and a huge building, and it's really this spirit, you know, this atmosphere. Yeah, you have a whole storytelling. I love this move. The kicks, you know. Good. On the same year, they promote Kling Kling with their fifth tour called Gurun Gurun, paired with a DVD by the same name, and then finally make it to the US with their World Tour third, which also brings them back to Taiwan, Singapore, and the UK. Guess what? This is when I saw them again. I attended to the London show while making, I remember what I would call a lightning trip. I took a flight from France to London. A few hours later was the Perfume show, and then I went back right away. That was the fastest trip ever. Don't get me wrong, if I could, I would have visited London a bit more, but I had to work on the day after, that's why. To tell you a bit about the live, well, first of all, the audience surprised me. Not only because it was thrilling to see a Western audience attending a Perfume live and being so passionate about it, but also because there were many high quality cosplays, even a Yasutaka Nakata cosplay. Stefan, you know I'm talking about you. I met some friends there and then really enjoyed my time, especially when Perfume performed for the first time their song called Story. that's so intense. This is the Nakata I love, and the perfume I love. And we eventually make it to 2015, when between you and I honestly started to take some distance from perfume. For 3 reasons. First, I was starting to be busy in my professional life. Second, I had discovered K-pop. And third, I was seriously less conquered by Perfume's new releases. But when I go back to it now, I kind of changed my mind a bit. Let's dive into it together. So in 2015, Perfume first released a new single called Pick Me Up. I still don't like it. For me, it's too conventional, and I just cannot stand the sound of this synthetic guitar. I must say that the chorus hits hard, but at that time I really didn't find anything new either in the song or the music video. It was just one more song by Perfume. So did the B-side Relax in the City make me feel as one more ballad by Perfume. But I gotta admit that the music video looks stunning. It's a kind of a natural follow-up to Kasuka Nakaori, where the beauty of the girls pops out on the screen. After that was released Star Train, which I find much more convincing. Before I move on to 2016, 2015 is also the year when Perfume launches its own classy shoes brand under the name Perfume Dance Heel, which the refined design is highly inspired by the shoes they wear on stage in order to dance comfortably while staying elegant and feminine. Last but not least, they hold a special tour plus a DVD celebrating their 15th anniversary called PPPPPPPPP 3569. Can you make a more complicated title? A very interesting one in which we are gonna see the girls totally relaxed on stage, improvising and challenging themselves. This is how we came to see the girls regularly rolling a dice during the live, which is gonna decide what will be the next song to perform, and the direction they head to is randomly chosen as well. You need to know that usually everything is prepared and calculated from A to Z, but for this live they have to adapt in real time and challenge their skills. One funny happening is that Fate even rolled the dice, so they had to perform the same song Laserbeam twice. We are now in 2016. Perfume released their 6th major album, Cosmic Explorer, promoted by the song Flash. Alright, here we go for Flash. The more I watch it, the more I find this music video amazing. The song doesn't catch me that much, but in terms of visuals, many details are worth it. Well, first of all, the girls look different. They look even more mature and grown up. They really leveled up. You can see it in the control they have in their dance moves. Like they are sharp, more accurate and complex than ever. We can see all the experience they have gained. okay, the song is... yeah, it's cool, okay, it's cool, yeah. But it doesn't catch me that much. But what kills me in here is the image work. I mean the framing. Look at that. You can pick any second of the MV, it will make a beautiful picture. This is a signature of a well-framed video. Yet it's so simple and minimalist. They didn't put anything in the background, it cost peanuts. But the work on the shadows, the work on the post-prod special effects, really subtle. It's really controlled, I love it. They make me think of Luke Skywalker in the episode 6, Return of the Jedi, you know. But coming back as a much more mature and leveled up badass Jedis, you know. And you will see in the end, I'm not so far from Star Wars. And they mixed a bit of karate moves, you know. Or kung fu, I think it's closer to kung fu. Definitely, yeah. Wow, the triangle in the shadow. Didn't notice this before. I'm sure I could watch this video 10 times. I would see a new detail every time. It's really worth watching it many times. Wow, that's so complex. It's amazing, this ending. Oh my god. A tribute to game, but totally leveled up. I mean, look at how they move the lightsabers. I told you about Star Wars, you know. Is it just simply learn Kung Fu or cheerleading? That must not be easy to do this kind of moves. I think they train so much for this. Yeah, it's really impressive. I love the end. Flash. Amazing, amazing MV. As I was saying it a bit earlier, Star Train sounded like the end of something. Actually, the whole album Cosmic Explorer, to me, sounds like a conclusion. The opening and the title track are really epic, with a temptation towards synthwave touches, or at least synthpop, to the point where this could be an OST for an epic sci-fi movie. And then the rest of the songs divide into two groups, the epic ones, Flash, Story, Pick Me Up, Twinkling, and the joyful / melancholic ones, Miracle Walker, Next Stage With You, Tokimeki Light, Star Train, Hold Your Hand. The overall looks like the final countdown of Perfume. Honestly, this is how I felt this album was trying to say. That's why what I feel for it is exactly the same than for Star Train. A bittersweetness. As they usually do, they promoted it with their 6th tour and the DVD coming with it. Special mention for the most epic sounding interlude I have ever seen. Their remix of Perfume no Okite. Perfume continues its expansion as a fashion brand in 2017 by launching its own clothes brand called Perfume Closet. Most of the items being slightly derivative from the girls' outfits in their music videos. The cherry on top is their own brand of perfume, Perfume of Perfume, which finally, after all these years, gave an efficient response to the Google and YouTube algorithm, always leading the fans to some random search results. Right? You know what I'm talking about. But let's come back to the real business, music. Perfume started 2017 with a new single, Tokyo Girl. If Star Train was, in my perception of things, announcing the end of Perfume and Cosmic Explorer was their official conclusion, I was seeing Tokyo Girl as a PS, a postscriptum at the bottom of the goodbye letter, a bonus that I accepted gladly. But it didn't turn out like this, because they released another single called If You Wanna. If You Wanna. Why? Why did they have to release this? This song and this music video were a purge and ruined everything. Let's watch it. Alright, If You Wanna. First, this shot makes me wonder if it's supposed to happen after the end of Tokyo Girl. But yeah. Alright, so why did Nakata started this song with such irritating voices? It's a choice that I still don't understand. And goddamn, I usually love Kashyuka's voice, but this note with his vocoder is just so irritating. Now let's talk about the video. Come on, what is this? Flying cars that we barely see the shadow of. A plane. It doesn't make sense. And looks awful, I'm sorry. And the colors, it's all grey and dark blue. Nothing pops out, it's flat. Okay, this lighting effect is cool though. There's nothing interesting in the chorus. It's like the chorus doesn't exist. Hopefully the girls look beautiful. If there is something wrong, you know, considering there is a blurry filter and the format is in 16:9, the result becomes confused and narrow. Like, it's hard to breathe and to see clearly what's happening. Yeah, like, even the pre-chorus doesn't exist neither, actually. This is so empty, there is nothing. Of course, they make great performance as dancers. And that's it. It's finished. Yeah. Now let me explain you how I perceived If You Wanna at the time. For me, If You Wanna is like this girl who takes 2 years to say goodbye and finally changes her mind. It's like this girl who says, I'm gonna leave with Star Train, then goodbye with Cosmic Explorer, then that was good fun with Tokyo Girl, and finally, oh, actually I'm gonna stay with If You Wanna. This is so irritating. It's like an end which never ends. Honestly, I think If You Wanna is the worst song and the worst MV of Perfume ever. And it was their biggest mistake. Barely saved by the B-side Every Day and its MV, which both contain some nice ideas but unfortunately stay flat and don't achieve their concepts. But guys, ladies and gentlemen, I was not ready for what came up next. What happened next definitely made me forget about If You Wanna. It revived the sparkle inside of me of my love for Perfume. Suddenly, Perfume made a fusion. Alright. Let me drop you a few words about what's going on here. So at the end of 2017, Perfume make a unique event in collaboration with the phone operator Docomo. The idea is to film the three girls dancing on their new song Fusion and to broadcast it live. But there is one more extra detail to take in consideration. The three girls are separated by tens of thousands of kilometers from each other. Nochi is in New York, Kashioka is in London, and Achan is in Tokyo. How do they do this? By using advanced technology, the talent of rhizomatics, and most of all by being wholly fucking precise and accurate in their dance steps. I'll let you appreciate this total piece of art and technology. I didn't know what to think of Perfume's situation, because I was living an emotional roller coaster between the fiasco of If You Wanna and the genius of Fusion. 2018 would later give me an answer. The single's title track Mugen Mirai and its B-side Let Me Know, both shot in a music video, were released in 2018, and I would review them the same way. They look pretty, they sound pretty, the package is clean and professional, but it's lacking of soul. Something is missing. The intention, the creativity, the surprising influences that I could find in their past songs, it was not there. And actually this is also the overall feeling that I had for their seventh album, the last in date Future Pop. When it comes to the other new songs of the album, they sound way too close to Kyari Pamyu Pamyu's register, who is, by the way, another artist whose songs are composed by Yasutaka Nagata. Not that it's a bad thing itself, but it's just not the sound of Perfume. I would have appreciated a more mature and complex composition to follow through the growing of Perfume as woman. The melodies are getting simpler and simpler, but don't get the genius orchestration of Ichimiri. There is almost no risk taken. One thing I've got to admit though is that we still recognize Nakata's style and this Japanese taste in mouth, which kind of helped me to understand the real purpose of this album. Future pop was in fact an easy, smooth and non-risky entrance door leading to the Perfume world, addressed to a new type of audience, a wider one. What they had called future pop was in fact, simply put, pop. And this was a marketing move more than an artistic one, even if the price to pay for them was to lose some fans on the way, including me. Now that I'm analyzing it, I forgive them. This was worth it, because they could in the end accomplish their goal. They conquered the US and China with their 7th tour / 4th world tour, promoting the album Future Pop, and even made it as the first J-pop group ever to the famous Coachella Festival in 2019. The job of globalization was done. 20 years of career have been reached by Perfume in 2020, and this needed a proper celebration that started a year earlier with the release of a new compilation, a huge one this time with 3 discs, called PERFUME. It contained songs from all their albums and 2 exclusive ones, Na 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 Hero and Challenger. Let me tell you right away that I'm not a fan of the song Challenger, which for me is just a downgraded version of the awesome Chan Chaka Chan Chan by Kelly Pamu Pamu, in more repetitive. But what they made for the MV was interesting. They organized a contest consisting in submitting our ideas for concepts and a storyboard for the music video, and the winner got to have his concept becoming true. The winner, guess what, was an 11-year-old boy, Hiroto. Here is the result.
僕はこの企画の大きなテーマをつながりとしました。僕はこの曲を聴いて次の2つのつながりを大事にしようと思いました。一つは人と人とのつながりです。そしてもう一つは時間のつながりです。この2つのつながりがあるから僕たちはいろんなことにチャレンジしていけるのだと思います。
We are
not my type of MV, but still the idea to interact with the fans and to drive their creativity, I like that. P3, as usual for Perfume's albums, became a tour and a DVD in 2020 called P3 Dome Tour. But sadly, due to COVID-19, their last performance at the Tokyo Dome had to be cancelled. Now, let's rewind a little bit to 2019 with you, because Perfume experimented, and I carefully chose that word on purpose, a very interesting live under the name Reframe. Before attending this show, the audience was warned in advance. This is not a traditional Perfume live. It certainly wasn't. Listen to Achan's voice. How beautiful it is. She's such an amazing singer. With this meditative and soft remix of voice, it's just a delight. To kind of sum up this Reframe live, I'd say 3 words: past, present, future. It's a surprising, weird, fresh and risky tribute to Perfume's past, which may be perhaps a transition to the next step of their career. If you take a closer look at it, after all, Perfume's songs are always related to time. Either it's the past, the present or the future. This leads me to their last singles in date. First, Time Rap, released in late 2020. Nothing that wows me, we are still on Kali PERFUME's register, but the video has some nice visuals and colors, plus the camera work is slowly but surely getting closer to K-pop standards. The B-side was in the OST of the movie Murder in Shijinso. It's called Saisei, which means rebirth, and is much more interesting to me. Let's watch its MV to conclude beautifully this journey with Perfume. I mean, this moment where they refocus on themselves, this like look back at all their success and trials to decide about their new horizon. Saisei is their rebirth after 20 years. So does the ending of the video symbolize it? Something needs to die in order to move on and to be reborn. Saisei is a transition to a new chapter of their life. And now the last production of Perfume in date is a song called Polygon Wave. Released in the summer of this year, 2021, Polygon Wave's chords and keyboards remind me of this B-side from their album Triangle called Zero Gravity. So we get, I'd say, chill and loungy tones while having a much more pop and catchy hook. It's a 100% Perfume sound, also a bit in the spirit of JPN. I have to mention that the bridge is grand. Amazing composition leading to a build-up which doesn't disappoint. So Polygon Wave is cool, it's a cool song, but it's not new. There is this feeling of déjà vu, you know? So I'm still hoping to get something bolder and fresher from them.
こんにちは、かしゆかです。あーちゃんです。どっちです。3人合わせて、Perfume です。
Minasan, it's time to conclude this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments how you found it, what I could do better, and please tell me as well, were you a fan of Perfume? Are you still a fan of Perfume? Did you discover Perfume with this video? What's your anecdotes or your favorite song and MV, and why? You can let us know in the comments or on our RSMC Telegram channel dedicated to Perfume that you will find in the sub-channel J Electro of the J-pop category. So just head to t.me/rsmc1 and you will find your way from there. It took me weeks to make this video, but I really enjoyed diving deep into what is still one of my favorite groups. I don't know if I can call myself a fan anymore, but for sure I'll be back to them always, as long as they keep delivering interesting music and dance. You know, in 20 years of career, it's not easy. It's actually impossible to satisfy everybody from the beginning to the end. My personal loving curve for them was a real roller coaster, as you saw. It was really... This is a part of the creating process, you know. If your career lasts this long and you become so famous, there is a point where the entity Perfume becomes bigger than Perfume itself. And they cannot totally control anymore the influence they have or the legacy they leave behind. One thing is sure, they are now a part of not only Japan's music, but Japan's history. They are like a cultural evidence of their civilization's ambitions to spread music, to share emotions, to build technology. Their commercial success is still undisputed. If the sales through the years went down in numbers because Japanese people seem to consume less and less music, they always have been topping the charts with almost no drop. I don't know about the future. It seems they are kind of encouraging Nichiyu by JYP to take it over. Ah-chan shot a few TV shows in which she talked about them, plus they made a TikTok video of their song. By the way, Perfume are pretty active on TikTok. Let's see. One last thing that I'm sure about, I will always love Perfume for their dance, for their use of technology, for the friends that I made within the fans community, and for their history. Perfume. When I first heard your voice and saw your fusion dance moves displayed on my screen, it went as fast as a laser beam. This was like a flash of spice when eating sweet donuts. I naturally fell in love. From that moment you picked me up, I started spending all my time every day learning about your story, how you were such great dream fighters. Hey, I just want you to know that as long as you keep on being challengers, you will have a limitless future, and you will glitter the magic of my love for you. If you want to know, I won't fake it. This is no secret. I still love you, and I will always.
いるよ震えてる胸の中いつの間に私たちすれ違い始めたのもっともっと最後に話したいことあったけど涙に変わりそうで言葉にできなかった好きになってよかった 初めてそう思ったあの日描いた夢は今目の中消えるよ好きになってよかった悲しいことがあってもつまずかないで歩けると信じていたい好きになってよかった初めてそう思ったあの日描いた夢は今目の中消えるよ好きになってよかった悲しいことがあってもつまずか